This is my school and this is my learning zone. I'm Pranjal, a full-time high school student. In my free time, I find the opportunities to have conversations with professionals from various walks of life. Over time, I have learned that you have to be humble, work hard, and be a lifelong learner to be successful in life. I invite you to join me in one such journey. I hope you enjoy it. Dance is one of the most oldest art forms out there. Its origin has been dated back to 3000 BCE. It is one of the most expressive and available arts out there. But let me tell you from my own personal experience, it isn't easy. You know, anyone can dance, but not everyone can dance. Well, today my guest can dance. Miss Alla Mansour was a competitive dancer for 18 years, and now she is a Malaysia ballroom judge and a teacher. Her story is one of personality, determination, and grit. From dancing as a hobby at 6 to becoming an international dancer, here's the journey of Miss Alla Mansour. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for inviting me and sharing my story to everyone.
Yep, I'm excited to learn more about you. So let's start from the very beginning, Miss Alla Mansour. When did you really start dancing?
All right, so it was a very interesting story because in Russia, each school has a dancing lessons. So, and actually my brother, who is older than me a little bit, so he went to the dancing classes in the school.
Yeah.
So, and being a younger sister, I always watch him going and dancing. And then for him, actually, he hated it.
Oh.
So, and when I always coming to see his dancing lessons, I said, oh, I wish I can go to school faster because I can learn dancing. So that was my story, like where I was having a dream to start to be a dancer. So, and then my mom, she sent me to the piano class and the dancing at the same moment. So for me, the dancing room and the piano lesson was just one wall apart, you know. So, and when I was my piano lessons, I could hear the dancing music from the beside the wall. And I would say, oh, when my piano lesson finished, that I can go and see the dancing, so something like that. And then for me, it was such a torture to have a piano lessons. And then when I was finishing it, I was rushing to my dancing lesson and I enjoyed so much. And it was the first competition in my school. And it was, I remember so many kids and they were all dressed the same, right? And among all of the children, I got the first place.
Wow.
So that was my first competition, I guess, first place. So I think that was the sign or something that it was really inspiring me to continue and dance more. And I remember they had like a gift present, 6 color pencils.
Right.
And for me, it was like so precious, you know. For me, I was walking with these 6 color pencils because for me, I got a first place and they gave me this. It was so special. Until now, I remember my feeling. It was like so exciting for me. So if I would say, let's say I was not first or it was like some other places, maybe my life changed into other direction. But that actually may be a life changer for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
A question I had, how did you prepare to get this first place? Was it just natural talent or how did you really prepare for this competition?
Okay, for me, because I saw my brother dancing, for me I said, okay, I want to be like this. I want to dance. I want to participate. I want to dance with this music. So, and before in Russia, it was no solo dance. It was always a couple. You know, now it's because it's lack of the boys. Girls dance a solo dance, right? For me, I never danced solo. So for me, it was always a couple, and the boys, you know, like they were wearing like white shirt, bow tie, you know, that it was, everything is very elegant. And the girls were wearing like beautiful dresses. For me, I want to be in this elegant dress. I want to dance with a boy like that, you know. So it was also very inspiring for me. So, and then it was a teacher who actually believed in us, you know, and he said like, okay, so even if you're a beginner, you still can do good. So, and it was, I just follow my inspiration from my brother. So, and then we did not do anything special, but because for me it was something, I love to do it, and I did my best, and that was the result. So it was just
Right.
Magic, I don't know, it just happened.
It just happens.
Yeah.
So you win the first place competition, you get your 6 color pencils, and you're really, really excited. What did you think you want to do next? Were you looking for more competitions to win, or what was your next goal?
Okay, so as I said, like each school had the dancing lessons, and it was compulsory for everyone, right?
Yeah.
So it was in the program of the school. So if you want to do something more, like joining more serious training or joining more serious competitions, so definitely you need to go for more classes.
Yep.
Yeah. So and we had a very good teachers at my school, but as usual, you know, like you look for something more every time. So and it was like one of the best studio in St. Petersburg. That's where I'm from in Russia. So and they were, I think it was that time it was best studio in the city. Yeah.
Wow.
And all of the couples who joined that studio, they were like champions. So and told to my mom, I said, you know, I want to join that studio. What can I do? What can we do? I said, but you know, you really need to commit. You know, because like, you know, if you go there, you need to spend maybe every day in the studio to practice and participate. I said, I can do anything, you know, because it was really like, I said, okay, I want more. So, and then my mom said, okay, so I can do this for you. But, you know, like you have to say goodbye to the teacher that is teaching you. And it's really touching because this was your first teacher who introduced the dancing for you. And it was a very like serious decision for me. So what we do in Russia, so you bring the flowers to the coach, you know, to say thank you for what he's done for you. And then as soon as I remember this moment, walk into the studio with the flowers, the coach already know. I said, and then he said like, Alla, you wanna lead your way like further, and said, yes, please. I really sorry, and we cried, you know, because it was like, you know, I was a good student, you know, I was like, they considered me as a talented student. So and we hug, we say goodbye to each other and say, okay, so I wish you all the best, like fly more, you know. So and it started. So. And the discipline, the hard training, you know, and everything that you wish for. So, and I really also must say thank you for my teachers, because they were like not young anymore, like they were like quite in elderly age, but I learned a lot from their discipline and what it is really the dance, you know. So because like it was like some rules. You know, for example, like when teacher entered the room, you cannot be seated. You know, you have to stand up. You have to be prepared for the lessons. You have to listen. You can. So the teacher is a god, basically. You know. So and then we went through this school, and then it's really meant a lot for me. You know, like how the partner treat the lady, what you should do in the lesson, how you need to act, how you need to understand the dancing. So these teachers, they gave me a lot at this moment, So, but then it has also, I remember one moment when I was very sick. I was very sick. I had the ear infections or something, and I had a high fever, and we have to prepare for the very important competition. So, and then at this moment, it's happened to be my teacher changed the partner for my partner. For example, I had a partner, right? So because I was sick, I could not join competition. They decided to give another girl to my partner, right? So I had I was a very blonde girl, right? And my partner was very like black, like dark hair guy, So, but we were very good friends and we were very good couples. We win all competitions, you know, and everything. So I got sick, and then the exchange. Right, and that's for me was really like kind of betrayal. You know, how the teacher who I trust can do this for me. You know, and then I cried for a couple of days. You know, and then my mom said, "Okay, maybe there is something better for you." You know, so you never know. So you calm down, you wait, but maybe there is something better for you. So and then. It's happened to be that when I come back to the class after my sickness, right, it was a blonde boy waiting for me, you know. So and it's happened to be like my very good friend danced with this black, like dark hair
Yeah.
boy, and I was a blonde girl dancing with a blonde boy. So we were like two couples, dark, blonde,
That
blonde.
one. Yep.
And we won every single competition after that, you
Wow.
know? So actually, we were a good couple, also successful couple with this boy, but it happened to be, we beat them as well.
Uh-huh.
So, and my mom said, you see, everything do for the better, you know? And then it really made me also believe that, wow, you know, like it's really everything do for the, if you really like what you do, just you have to trust the process, you know.
Yeah.
So means even if you lose the partner, if you change the teacher, you know, everything comes in a way to lead you up, you know.
Yeah.
So, and I said, wow, so we were really unbeatable couple in St. Petersburg, you know. So in our age we were very successful. Yeah, so that was my actually second partner, you know, that were dancers. Maybe you have any other question, because I can go
Yeah.
on and on and on and on, you know, like.
Something I'm curious about. So you went to this new institute for learning how to dance.
Yeah.
Dance is such a broad category. What attracted you to, I'm assuming, Latin dance?
Latin dance. So I think it's the fact because the Latin ballroom dancing is very popular in Europe and in Russia. So actually at that moment, I think every school and every studio offers that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
the time it was not so much of hip hop, and it was like a very popular the Latin and ballroom dancing, which is actually bring you into very high level. So we have lots of teachers, we have lots of information about that. So that's it was a popular, you know. And what you see, what you know, like you pass by, you see like all of the people, wow, there's a ballroom dance competition.
Yeah.
And the dresses, the shoes, the makeup, the
Yeah.
outlook, you know. And then, you know, like basically, yeah, like you're dancing with the boy, that was also, you know, like it's a teamwork, you know. So everything together, so, and that moment, like, I think you don't have lots of choices. Like
that is
now,
true, yeah.
K-pop, hip-hop, you know, like
Yeah.
ballet, of course, it's a classic dance, but, you know, like contemporary and all sort of things. But that one was, I think, ballet, of course, very popular in
Yeah.
Russia. And we had the ice skating and the ballroom dancing. So that was the dancing, that the sport, the discipline was popular in Russia at that moment.
So while you
Yeah.
were training to dominate every single competition in St. Petersburg, how was your school life going? Was focusing on school hard?
Yeah, so okay, until the certain level it was okay, you know, because
Yeah.
like you train and then, you know, but when you go to high school, that's
Yeah.
a real challenge. So I remember myself, okay, so here we compare life in Penang, everything close to everything.
Yeah.
You know, we have such a comfortable life, you know, like we have a swimming pool, we have gym, we have
Yeah.
everything in the compound. So Petersburg, it's a huge city, you know. So if you want to go to the studio, it's a 1.5 hour to
Wow.
go, 1.5 hour to come back, you know. So, and then my parents can't support me because it's you need to travel by metro and the working, so I have to be in the studio by certain hour. But okay, so there is a different system, I would say, in Asia and in Russia, because almost every child in Russia doing some professional sport. Yeah, so
Yeah.
either it's I don't know, figure skating or gymnastic or anything. So the Russian school is until 1 or maximum 2 p.m. finish.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the classes start at 8, so it's finished, even high school finish maximum at 2.
2.
And you don't need any more tuition because it's really, school program is really enough for you to succeed.
Okay.
So you don't need tuition or any other extra classes. So this is actually designed for you that after school you can proceed with your professional sport.
Right.
So means there are time for homework, and then you can travel to your classes.
Yeah.
So and then you come back. So but I still remember that I say even after studio I have to still sit till 11 or 12, you know,
Yeah, till
in the
midnight.
evening to complete everything. Of course,
Wow.
there is a father to help me, there is a mother to help
Yeah.
me, sometimes to explain what's going on. But My family, I'm really blessed that they support every way of my journey for the dancing. No matter the support, my father was always support me in the school program. Like for example, mathematics. Oh, I need the explanation. You know, like something.
Yeah.
So he's there for me to explain, like to help with my homework or something like this. So my mother always explaining, like we have like literature or something, because actually my mother is a Russian teacher for foreigners.
Oh.
So she's like,
yeah.
you know, bilingual, and she's, you know, like she knows all of the literature and everything. She helped me to write a set, to teach me in the school. So I have this support from my family. Yeah, so then I have my time for my dancing, come back. So basically it's a full time, but you know, like you have to sacrifice your free time, like joy time, you know?
Yeah.
So I wasn't a kid who all participating in all of the birthday parties.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, like, oh, we go hang out and no, not for me.
Not for you.
Not for me, yeah. That time for me, I think until 16, 17, 18, no parties, mostly, you know. If I participate in a birthday, so it's a wow, it's such a luxury for me, you know, like, because when we were a competitor, we had around 40 competition per year, like for zero. So almost every weekend, you know, so, and we are going like internationally, or we are going within the Russia, you know, like something like this. So then it's tough.
Yeah. So isn't it hard not being there, where everybody expects kids your age to be doing this, you know, going hanging out, partying?
Okay. Okay. So that was until it was my 18th birthday, right? And then, you know, like when we finished the high school. Then it was a milestone when we need to decide what to do next. Yeah. So then it's a university year, right? Or you participate, you go to university to be a professional dancer, or you do something else. So it was a moment when I split the time with my partner. Yeah. So it was exactly around 17, 18 years old. It was the end of my high school year.
Yeah.
So, and then, well, okay, that was a couple of reasons why we split, because we had a different approach, right? So for me, he was not very serious. For me, I wanted to go, okay, full speed to be a professional dancer. For him, it was a little bit, okay, maybe not, you know, he was thinking. And then he grew up so tall, you know, so this is another reason, like he was as tall as you.
Wow.
So, and then we danced both program, Latin and ballroom. So Latin, no problem, because, you know, like it's okay, but for the ballroom, when you keep the frame, it's a little bit hard. So, and then we were thinking, okay, should we proceed, or we need to find another way or another partner for that? So, and it happened to be we split as a couple. So, and then, like you really start to think, oh, should we go professional way? Like, oh, you have to be a professional dancer, or you need to choose something else. So, and again, you know, as soon as you decide to do, okay, actually, I put all of my documents to enter the professional dancing university, so which is only about the dance. And then, you know, in Russia it's a little bit different system. So you finish your high school, and then you go 5 years to your university. So we have no college. So it's a little bit different than here. So you have a college, then you have a diploma, right?
Yeah.
But for us, it's a high school. You finish like 11 or 12 classes. Then you apply for university, and then you study 5 years.
Okay.
Not 3, not 4, like it's 5.
Just 5 years.
And then you're done.
Okay.
So you don't need anything in between, yeah? So, but by end of the high school, you need to already decide who you want to be, and which is a little bit difficult, right?
Yeah, yes.
So as a 17 years old kid, you need to think, oh, I need to know what should I do. So for me, again, it was a very hard year, because I was so sure, like for me, the dancing is like, you know, cut off my hand, you know, like what do I do? You know, like it's part of my body, it's part of my, it's part of my life. So, and then we split with my partner, what do I do? I really want to be a professional dancer. And then we sit with my mom, I remember the whole night crying again.
Yeah.
So she said, okay, Alla, that's what you want to do. Because if you only choose a dance for your life to be a professional dancer, this is a very limited thing what you can do. But you can go to the art university, so you don't have to be exactly a dancer as your major, so you can be something else, yeah? But the dance will be always with you, beside you. So what do you want to do? And then I say, I think I need to do a second way, you know?
Right.
So, and then what's happened in the morning, I'm coming to university, I take all of my applications form, and I'm sending it to another university. So instead of, there is there is a sport university in Russia which train Olympics champions.
Right.
You know, like athletes, all athletes. But that's what you do. You are professional or you're not anything else. So I don't think I want to be that, you know.
You want to go
I want
all
to
in.
do, I want to have a little bit of freedom, you know, like because I can be something else. So, and then I'm taking my applications to another university and said, okay, I want to be, that's Academy of Art and Culture, right? So you can do a dance, but you can work in any embassy in the world. For example, you can do a cultural event, you can do as a cultural attaché for anything, you know? So it's still an art, but you can be anything. And you can work in any country and anywhere in the world. So I said, I think that's what I want, you know? So, and then I have to study 9 and day, you know, like for to enter the university. And then I said, okay, I can do that. So because I study for totally different things. Yeah. So, and then I said, okay, doesn't matter. If I can get into there, I'm already happy. So it took for me, I think, 2-3 weeks to study day and night. Luckily, in St. Petersburg, the time, you know, we have white nights. You know what that means?
No.
It never gets dark.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's because it's a northern city,
Yeah.
you know, so it's never gets dark. So it's like this the whole night.
Yeah.
So it's for students at a happy hour because you can always study, you know, like you're not feeling sleepy. So that's also on top of it, it helped me with my studies.
Yeah.
So I passed all of my examinations and everything, I'm in.
Wow.
Yes, I'm in. So I was so, and then when, like, let's say they accepted me as a university, I said, okay, that's it. That's it, you know. And actually, again, it was a very like a life changer for me, you know. So, and if I would not choose this way, it would be very different life. I would not be having so much freedom.
That's true.
Because if I would choose this Olympics university for myself, then it would be very limited. I would be always under control of some organization or something you know. Okay.
So you study day and night and finally make it into St. Petersburg University. How do you feel at this moment? Do you feel accomplished and you feel like you've already done it all and ready to relax, or were you hungry for more?
All right, so for me, it was like a little bit shocking because like all my life I was doing the dancing and everything for dancing. And here it was like an open field which you learn like basically culture from every different angle. So you learn like drawing, you learn dancing. So dance, it's a one part of art. But there is a like language art, etiquette, documents, even you know like how you present yourself. So there are lots of things, even like for example like literature, music, it's like everything. So it's you know like it's a real estate university of St. Petersburg, so and it's in a very beautiful historical building. So even you walk in there, it's a palace. So even you walk in there as a student, you feel like wow, like you're somewhere, you feel amazing, you know. So you really learn a lot and you feel like you're like observe the culture from the classrooms, from everywhere. It's amazing. Like the professors who giving you lectures, philosophy, you know, like all, like you really like you overwhelmed. It's so amazing, like the experience that I went through. And until now, I said like I made such a great and good decision to go this way. Not only like sport, dance. So I observed more. So at the same year, my mom getting the first contract, because she's a Russian teacher for foreigners, right? She's getting the first contract in Asia. So before she was always like Europe, Russia, like East Europe, you know, like she was close Israel, like these places. So this time she gets the first contract in China, Beijing. So, and I'm like a first year of university students. I just started to study, my mom going away. So for me, it's really starting to be like kind of student's life, independent life. My father actually, he works in a factory making ships, you know, like submarine ships and all. So when they build a ship, they're going for testing, you know. So also 1 month he can be away and all the things. So for me, suddenly my mom is in China, my father is somewhere else, and then like, wow, I'm like really, I feel myself like independent student, you know, like so much freedom, you know, like, and I'm like, wow, I experienced totally different life, because in my school years I didn't have that. Dance, practice. Here I can choose what I want to do, and for me it was like totally new, different stage. And here my mom says, Alla, do you want to come to China? I'm like, why not? Because at that moment, you know, like my mom working for contract, and she never know she's gonna be there 1 year or 5 years, you know, like she never know. I said, Alla, please, if you can, please come just to visit me and all the things. I said, okay, I come. And I just remember the time I didn't have so much money even to buy a plane ticket, right? And then I said, okay, I just want to travel. So I bought a train ticket from Moscow to Beijing, you know, like Trans-Siberian, like, which travels 1 week, you know? And as a student, you know, like we have a holidays, and also I travel 1 week. It's unbelievable experience. I really like, if somebody watching me, I mean, like, you know, maybe now, you know, like I didn't have like a luxury ticket. Maybe now they have, you know, like all sorts of options. But I traveled 1 week. I met so many people, you know, on the way, and it was such a great experience for me. Like, because you cross the whole Russia, you know, like you see the forests and the lakes, and you know, like all beauty of Russia. So it's amazing. And then I traveled 1 week. I see Beijing. So I've never been to Asia before, like this is my first time. So I've been there maybe for around 2 weeks. I could talk about this 1 year. You know, for me, it's such a great experience and exposure. And that time it was, let's say, it was like 97, 98. It was this, you see, it was not a prosperous Beijing at this moment, you know, like we have these old areas, you know, and you know, but for me, every experience was amazing. I was eating from the street, you know, like the, you know, like the, and that time, of course, I could not speak even good English, you know, let alone Chinese. So it was just something. But the experience, what I got, it was absolutely amazing. So that time, it was like I'm saying, it was around 97, 98. They told me, Alla, I know you're a great dancer. Yeah, so like they saw my, you know, like profile and everything. I said, when you finish your university, I'm saying, like, what are you talking about? In 5 years? I said, okay, we wait for you. You know, okay, we wait for you. We want you, because I know you cannot, you know, but as soon as you finish university, would you like to work in this university in Beijing, let's say? I said, I don't know, I've never worked before, you know, like, I mean, like, I don't know. I said, okay, let's see what is happening. They wait for me. And my first contract, you know, like from my whole course, like from my old classmates, I said, it was in Beijing, right? And I have some experience of teaching when I was, let's say, 14 years old, but it's for the Russian kids. It was informal, you know, it's just, you know, like for fun. So, and I said, okay, you know, like the time when you're students, you think like, okay, you can do anything. You do, then you think, you know, like that exactly happened for me. Okay, come on, I'm going. Like I'm not waiting, I'm going. So, and then it was so clear for me. I'm going, and even like I did not finish yet. So when you have your 4th years of your university, you can apply, like for example, to go, right? And you say, okay, you call it, how to say in English, when you, the last year is basically you need to prepare to defend your diploma, right?
Yeah.
So if you prove that you're going to do it on your own, you can go.
You can go, right.
As far as you can come back and you defend on time and pass all of your examination, you can go.
Right.
So that's what's happened to me. I said, okay, I'm going, right? So I told him in the university, I need to go to Beijing and I have this job. And so, and amazingly, everybody supported that. I said, okay, Alla, you go as experience, you go and do it. So I went to Beijing. I had my first contract.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I was really culture shock.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was your question,
Yeah, that
right?
was my question.
My culture shock was, number one, imagine China, the population of people.
Right.
It's like 60
It's
people in the
60,
class.
yeah.
I mean, it's, and everybody looks the same, and discipline is very different than Europe and Russia, you know, like, and then you come into the class, and then these people looking at you, and they're like robots, you know, step to the right, one, and like an army, you know, 60 people doing run, you know, and then you put the hand up, 60 people hand up,
Yeah.
and I'm scared, really. My first impression, I'm so scared because I never experienced that before.
Right.
You know, like in here, you come, student talking to you, you know,
Yeah.
everybody look different, you're
Yeah.
talking to them, and you speak their language, you know, so it's
Right.
very different. Then, I did not, I hold all of my lessons in Russian with a Chinese interpreter.
Right.
So it wasn't like back and
Yeah.
forth. So number one, I don't know what he's translating to them.
Yeah.
Number two, I don't have this much close connection to my students because I don't know what are they understanding.
Yeah.
So it was really, the first couple of weeks, it was very tough, but I said, that's what I signed up for. You know,
Yeah.
I have to go through this. So little by little like this, until I can get used to Chinese culture, Chinese students, the Asian look. For me, it was everything different, right? The system of teaching, the system for them, the system of studying, it was like, it's like different world for
Right,
me.
yeah.
And I think the thing what helped me, it was, I was, let's say around 20 years old. So this is the age, okay, you try everything, nothing is, you know, so
Yeah.
everything is okay for you, you're not complaining about
Yeah.
anything, you just go,
You
yeah,
just-
for it. So that was my first experience, and I remember one time it was very hard for me because, you know, like in China, people not so honest sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was my translator, it was, I remember it was a elderly guy who came to help. Yeah. So for him, they're supposed to pay some money to translate for me. And maybe, probably, they did not pay enough, I'm not so sure, but he did not show up for my lesson.
Oh,
So means I come to the lesson and I'm alone.
yeah.
There is nobody translate. I said, what do I do?
Yeah.
And then I remember I was sweating, I was so nervous, you know, because they could not understand for me and all that. So, and then I understand, oh, I have to depend on myself, you know, like I cannot depend on somebody else, I have to depend on myself. And then I started to learn Chinese.
Oh, okay.
So, and actually it ended up that after all of these years in China, I learned how to speak Mandarin.
Right.
So, and I speak Mandarin, you know, because I said, okay, like the students come to me not because of the English, not because of Russian, they come to me to learn dance.
Dance, yeah.
So, and then I said, in the situations like this, what should we do? So, and then I started to learn from my students. I said, what's that? Jianbang. Okay, like what? Okay, right. Yoguai, Zoguai, you know, like something
Right,
like
yeah.
so very easy. So like up, down. So I started to show, they started to tell me. So, and actually that was such a good connection to my students, the language, you know. So, and I said, okay, I have to go through it. I have to learn the language. I have to speak up. But I remember my, the first couple of months, I have to communicate in English and Chinese.
And Chinese.
There is no Russian.
Yeah.
Forget it, there's nothing. So, and then I said, okay, that's my new life. I have to learn the language and I have to observe everything I'm learning. So, and it was a difficult years at the beginning.
Yeah.
But because I was doing dance, I was doing something that I love. So that's actually helped me to go through these difficulties, you know. So for me, I said, okay, I need to go through this. So the rest I learned in a way. So that was my challenge at the first when I come to China and I started to teach. That was not easy.
Not easy.
Yeah.
How was your outside life in China? What was it just like living in a completely new, different place?
Okay, so for me, all right, so I'm from St. Petersburg. It gets quite cold. Yeah. So, but, okay, so my first year was in China. Beijing, right? So it was okay. So now, after this, they say, okay, Alla, you know, we need you in city called Changchun. Changchun, it's a, you know, like close to Harbin, northern than Beijing. So it means it gets cold around October or November. The temperature is minus 28.
Wow.
Below zero, you know? So it's just...
freezing.
It's freezing and it stays like this until I think April. So you have to, yeah. So for me, I said, never mind. You see, that's a student's life. You see, you say, okay, you go for your work.
Yeah.
So, and then I said, Mom, I'm going.
Yeah.
You know, like, look, they offer a good contract for me. I need to go. So, and then I went to Changchun. So the life actually, it's even worse than Beijing. Beijing is still a capital of the city and all. So they put me into very cold hotel, like no, it's called like apartment hotel, right? So hot water only 6 a.m. till 8 a.m. in the morning, and then 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. in the evening.
Okay.
In the freezing condition like that, right? Wow. So you have to survive this, yeah. So and then you just learn how to survive. And I remember it really gets cold. Really? So I was teaching, so I was going to my university, I was teaching, I was coming back, waiting for 6 p.m. to take a hot shower or the bath and all. But I was really amazed with the people around there that they are dancing in the streets. You know, like sometimes, you know, like this Chinese culture when they put the tape recorder or anything, any speaker or anything, they're so happy. And that actually inspired me in China. People are so happy. You know, like in Russia, people, I don't know, they're angry, you know, like they, like in Europe, you know, like maybe lack of sun or something that people, they're very like serious, you know, like walking around. Actually, they have everything, but they still, they complain, they're not happy. China people, minus 30 degrees outside, they're putting up the jackets and they're dancing on the street. So, and for me, that was something to learn. You know, people, they're happy, they're happy to help you. You know, I remember I was sick or something, everyone was bringing me like mandarins and oranges, you know, like they said, wow, I never been treated this way, you know, like this. So that was something that I learned about people, about culture, you know, like they're always willing to help. And for me, the first moment when I was in China, like, oh, Chinese, I never speak Chinese, you know, I never learned Chinese. But when you say like first, ni hao, you know, so wow, you're so good. I say, you know, like if you go to Russia and you don't speak Russian, say, what's wrong with you? You don't speak Russian, like what's wrong with you? Or in France, you know, like people, they expect you to speak the language, but in China, like, you speak one word, they're so encouraging. So, and actually I said, oh wow, you know, like it's something special, so why don't I try more? And then I start more and more and more. Another thing, you sit in a taxi and everybody asks you the same question every day. Where are you from? You know, like what do you do? How long you stay in China? And then you learn to answer. You answer, okay, I'm from there. So you're giving the same answer every day. Oh, I speak Chinese, you know, like, and then little by little, like you start speaking the language. And another thing, so that was north. I was working north of China. Then I remember I had a TV and you know, like there's no YouTube,
Yeah.
there is no Instagram, there's nothing. So you watch only Chinese news.
Yeah.
And the only like positive things that I was watching, weather report, you know?
Yeah.
And then always says Hong Kong, Guangzhou,
Yeah.
Macau, all year around 25, 32. I said, where is this place in China? You know, I want to
Yeah.
go, because it was like for so cold, and I was really dreaming about this place to go and see where is this place. Until it was one of my friends, she said, Alla, you know, I'm going to Guangzhou, right? And Guangzhou is south of China.
yeah.
And I said, oh, is this the place where it's always warm? I said, yes, I really want to go there. There's a university called Sun Yat-sen. Okay, so I'm going to be an English teacher in there. I said, wow, can you give me the contact of this university? I really want to check. So the girl gave me the contact of this university, and I said, oh, I'm a dance teacher. Are you interested in this position? Because I'm teaching. I got the job.
Wow.
Like of course there are lots
Yeah.
of deals, but cut the story short, like I got the next contract south of China, you know. So, and then they have two campuses, Zhuhai and Guangzhou. Zhuhai is a border of Macau, and Guangzhou and Shenzhen, it's a border to Hong Kong. So it's a really like Guangdong province, south of China. My dream come true again. You know, like it's like something like, you know, like you're dreaming of, and then your dream come true. So that was another stage of my life when I was in south of China. Right. So, and then I was teaching there for another 5 years. So, and then, okay, so it was a very good experience, very good year. So I had already experience of teaching like Chinese children, but it was very easy for me already because I have to speak in English, because they are like a graduated students, they speak English and everything. We have many different events. So, and I remember they say, Alla, why don't you be like you will be head of dance department in this university? I said, wow, really? Seriously? You want me to be there? I said, yeah, we never done this before, but we have lots of success, we have lots of students. Why don't you be in head of department? And we give you this and that, we give you this much salary. But I said, wow, you know, too good to be true, you know what I mean? And I said, of course, like how can I say no? Let's do it. And they said, okay, so we get the students, we run this project and all the things. And yeah, it's all, everything was running until I said, okay, guys, where is my contract? You know, like can I see my contract and everything? I said, you wait a little bit because this is a new project. We need a little bit of a time, you know? So, and I said, okay, never mind, take your time. You do all of the documents right and everything. And 1 month passed by, 2 months passed by, 3 months passed by. Guys, where is my salary? Like what is going on? And then it's happened, like I said, Alla, we need to talk to you. I said, okay, what is it? I said, you know, because this is very new. And you know, in China, they have this system. There is a leader, and then there is another leader, and then another leader. So the chain and the stairs of this leadership is really complicated. So if one leader cannot approve, nothing can be done, right? So, and it's happened to be that everything basically crashed down. I don't know for what reason and everything. And I was so disappointed. I was really disappointed. Then I said, oh, you know what? I think I need to leave China. So basically it didn't happen. And then I went through already like 3 months teaching of the students and everything. And, you know, I said, I think that's not fair. And when it's all ended up, I said, look, you know what, guys, I cannot go on like this. I cannot continue. Okay, I just let me go. And then I told to my mom, I just want to go back to Russia. You know, like I need a break. I need to go back. I cannot do. For me, I trusted this so much. You know, and then this, at least they could not tell me black and white what is going on. They kept me at the last moment, and you know. So I went back, I stayed 3 months in China, in Russia. And then, unless I receive email, and they say, Alla, I know you're a university teacher. I know you're teaching very high level of students, but you know, we are art kindergarten, you know, would you consider to teach little children, you know, because we need you and you know you're a very good teacher. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I'll never teach children, you know, like I teach only like big, like high level and, you know, like adults, you know, I never deal with children. And but okay, we give you a good deal, you know, the salary will be this much, and then you have to teach only 1 hour per day, and that's it, you know. And I'm like, you know, the salary was actually almost the same what university was offering me, because that was a private art kindergarten, which, you know, like, you know, in China at that time it was very popular. It was many international schools and kindergarten and universities opening, so they needed good teachers, you know, because it was a very high, you know, like competition between the schools. So, and I'm like, okay. I talk again to my family and I said, Alla, you said you have all of the experience already, yeah? So I said, what you go and gain the experience to teach young children, and then it's not taking all of you full time, then you can do anything else from the outside, you know? And I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna do it, you know? So from coming from university, teaching the kindergarten kids, so I come back to China and I started. And again, it was such a difficult experience at the beginning, because you plan your lessons, right? And nothing works. You know, like little kids, like what we are talking about, 4 to 7. 7, it's already year 1. 4 to 6.
4 to 6.
4 to 6. You start to teach zero English, of course. You know, they're coming to you. They're looking at your eyes. They touch your eyelashes, they're looking at your hair, they don't care about dancing, what you're talking about, you know. So for me, I used to talk to students, explain the technique and everything, nothing. They're like, you know, you're talking to them, they're running to different corner. So for me, the same. I was coming back home, try again, because, you know, I said, I cannot do this, you know, I have no experience. Mama said, you have to learn, you have to go through this. So she said, you can do it, you need to go through this experience. And then until again, I went through this until I said, okay, this is works. Okay, this is works. Okay, all right, now I know what to do, you know? And you know what is the best thing? I really learned my Mandarin in there. Because imagine, you come every day, you listen to the same songs, you listen to the same conversation, you listen to the teachers, because you're basically learning like a kid, you know, because I have to be in this kindergarten like from 8 a.m. until 12. Yeah, but my lesson just 1 hour. So what you do, you listen what they say, you listen, you basically being in this environment, listening to the kids. I learned my Mandarin by being there, you see, so it's like meant to be, you know. And then I have okay, so the great experience beside the Mandarin also, I can teach any level. So now I'm working in Penang in international school. I have from early years until year 11. For me, I know how to do. So if, let's say, I didn't have this experience, I could not do the job what I'm doing in Malaysia at the moment. So exactly. So this all what I went through, what life through me. All what I do in Malaysia. Now you ask me anything, I can do. Right. So that's basically the experience what I went through.
So at this time, were you still pursuing competitive dancing? How did your life work like that?
So no, not anymore. So I finished my competitive dancing when I was still in university in Russia. So still after I split with my partner, I still was looking. I was looking for another partner. We did couple of years of competitions until I came to China. Right. So since that moment, already no more. So but it was another way of dancing. It was like choreographing show. So and I was part of it. So I had a Chinese partner, for example, right? So it was not in the, for example, individual competition, but it was a competition of performances.
Right.
Yeah, I never forget. The Chinese teacher come to me and say, Alla, we have competition in 1 month. No. He said, we have competition. I said, okay, good, right? Okay, when? 1 month. I said, good. Who are the dancers? Oh, don't worry. I will bring you the dancers. I said,
Okay.
who? Okay, he went to the office. He
Yeah.
said, you, and you, right?
Yeah.
We are performing in 1 month. You know, what do you think it will be reaction in anywhere except China? What are you talking about? No way.
Yeah.
China. Okay. If the leader tell you to do something, they don't argue. You know, they just stand up and they're going. They came out of the office, they come to the dancing hall, they learn the dancing, we got the first place.
Wow.
You see? I said like, wow, exactly.
Yeah.
I said, wow, is that how it works in China? You know, the leader tell you something, the leader makes a decision, you proceed. There is no left, there is no right, it's just straight go. So the people who never danced before, of course the stress was on me, you know,
Yeah.
I need to train them, I need to teach them, but I understand how things happening in China, you know. So they tell you what to do, there is no argument about this, you do it and you do it good.
Right.
Yeah? So in some ways I learned how to do, there is no, you know, there's no unnecessary conversations and talk, you just learn to do it. So many things was done like that. Of course, there is no quality, there is no technique, there is not, but they did a good job.
Yeah.
We, you know, like we get a first place and all the thing. So that was my, how to say, show competitions, but I never compete individual anymore.
Yeah.
Right. So I was actually, my dance was performance, show dance, training the competitors like this, but I never, since the time I left Russia, I never joined the individual competition,
Right.
the couple competition.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was about it.
So in 2013, you moved to Penang. How did that happen, and why Penang?
Okay, so that time I was in China, right?
Yeah.
South of China, and going through all of these challenges. So actually what kept me in China is the work. Yeah, so it was really great. So it was a good salary, it was a good students. So I learned so much, I went through so many challenges. But the culturally wise, I was not, like, I knew I'm gonna be there only for the while. So it's not gonna be my country that I settle.
Yeah.
And what was the most bothering me is the fact that I was always a foreigner. Like, okay, you know, like, okay, Malaysia, you don't have this, right? So, but in China, they always ask you, oh, like, when you wanna, okay, so you are here in China, but when you wanna go back?
Yeah.
I said, but I don't wanna go back, you know, like, you know, but they always give you this feeling, okay, this is China, this is you,
yeah.
right? So it's always like this. And then I was thinking, okay, and I was always, okay, if I wanna even compete in a competition, I can't do this because I'm Russian. So as a group for Chinese, if I'm part of the Chinese group, okay, I can do, but if individual, I can't. So there was lots of restriction because I'm a foreigner in China, right? And it was like some difficulties with the immigration.
Yeah.
You know, remember the time it was Olympic in China and all the thing. So they changed totally immigration rules, how to get visa, how to do that. So, and you start to think, okay, so you actually building your life on a balloon that every moment it can pop and you have nothing. So it's actually every year you have a contract every year, but you never know what is gonna be next year. So should I buy this? Or maybe not, because next year maybe I'm not gonna be in China. So, and you always live with this kind of feeling that, oh, what should I do next year? What should I do next year? So, and I had a very good friend in China. I've met a very good friend. So she's like my sister. She's a French lady. She's a French girl, right? So we met there. She was also a teacher. And she became very, very close to me, like a sister, right?
Yeah.
So, and she was always saying, oh, you know, we have a project in Malaysia. which we wanna build a boutique hotel. So, and then we wanna move there soon from China. I said like, Malaysia. You know, like tell me more about it, you know? And then she's like, yeah, come and visit. I mean, when you have free time and all the things. And then I said, yeah, sure, I will come. And then I always, sometimes we were traveling to Thailand, and then I'm sitting at the airport at the time and I'm saying, wow, what a funny name, Kota Kinabalu. So what, you know, like it sounds very funny. And where is that? You know, like I Googled it and said, oh, Malaysia, okay. That's what she was talking about, but it's totally different part, you know, she's talking. And then I said, Kota Kinabalu, okay, I need to go. And then actually the first my visit for the holidays, I went to Kota Kinabalu, and then I saw the sea, wow. And then what actually, you know, China, Guangzhou, it's a factory of the world.
Yeah.
The sky never like this, it's always gray, it's very polluted. The time for me, it was already enough of enough, you know, like it was like some situation in China, you love the people, you love many things about China, but some things you can never get over it, you know. And that time the pollution was one of that, like the population is what another thing, it was too many people, right? And then some cultural differences, it was already, you know, after so many years it was already started to get a little bit disturbing. And then I came to Kota Kinabalu. I was, really? The sky can be so beautiful, the sun can shine like this, the sea can be so clean, you know. And then I fall in love. That was my like love at the first sign, you know. I said like, Malaysia, wow, the food can be so tasty, you know, like the fruit can be so juicy, you know. For me, like the basic things, I was so happy, like a child with this, you know. And then I started to think, wow, you know, it's so close, but it's so different. You know, people speak English. I can speak to people, you know. So, and it was so. Like the culture also of people was much closer to me than, you know, like than in China. And then I started to ask more questions. Oh, and then my friend, her name is Anna, she said, why don't you go to Penang? You know, why don't you go to Penang? Penang, it's actually a very like a expat city, expat island. So then you would love it because it's still Asia, but it's a very westernized, you know. And I said like, okay, Penang. And then I said, KL, Penang, okay, let me go. So, and when I came to Penang, that was my first trip, I made my decision overnight. I remember I was staying in Flamingo Hotel, you know, and for me, when I saw this, or you know, like I said, okay, I'm moving, you know, that's it, you know, for me, that's it. And then it was, I was just looking forward to move. And then I started to search online, you know, like, I said, what can I do? International schools, because the time I was working kindergarten, university, so what else? So, and then I found the Pelita school, right? And then I said, okay, why? Because they were doing concerts, they were doing like art. Art was the first priority for the school, I contacted them, I said, okay, I'm coming to Penang during this week, can I visit you guys? Yes. So I went to I went to Dalat, I went to Uplands, I went to like different schools, and then they say, oh, actually send your resume, and then we will contact you if we need you. So this is the normal procedure, right? When I came to Pelita, I said, Alla, when you can start? I said, what? I'm still in China, you know, like I'm not even here. I said, yeah, but when you can start? I said, okay, what can you do? Can you do a work permit? Can you do a visa? I said, yes. I said, are you sure? Because all other school, the immigration in Malaysia is a little bit complicated. I said, are you sure you can do a work permit for me? I said, yeah, you apply. Well, it was like 10 years ago, it was a little bit easier, right, than this. And then I said, okay. So, and then how it goes, I said, they really helped me with the procedure of immigration and everything to proceed with the school and so on. And the time I had Ariana, right? Already. So, and then we moved, she was 3.5. And then they said, okay, Alla, are you interested to send your daughter to the kindergarten school? I said, why not? I mean, like, and then says, okay, we will see how it goes, and you know, we will see where she can go. She likes to go to this kindergarten, and then you know, like sometimes you don't search the way, there is a way for you.
Yeah.
Like you don't know why this happening to you, you know, like it's just there. So there are lots of different things, but this is like the path, this is the way that you go. And then everything happens so smoothly until now. I don't know how everything happened, you know. So we moved to Penang, right?
Yeah.
We got you into school.
Yeah.
From the first week, I think I'm in Penang, I started to teach.
Yeah.
And then my first question was, we've met friends. First question when I asked, do you know any dancing studio in Penang? I say, yes, it's right there. So I went to the studio. I've met an amazing guy who gave me, oh, Alla, please, when you come to teach. So everything happened in Penang for me, like people, they were been waiting for me, you know, like, and this was so amazing. Until now, I feel like, okay, I came home, you know, like, you know, like in China, it was a little bit different because I went through struggle, you know, and okay, it was a mom there for me to help me, but I went through struggle before I started to enjoy my life. But when I came to Penang, it was like made to be, you know, and then when I came, I saw this, I said, okay, that's, okay, I'm here, I'm settled, you know, and you know what is amazing for me? When I was in Russia, I knew I'm gonna go away. I don't know, I knew it. You know, and then I traveled around Europe. I was in UK because I was studying in UK, like for the dance when I was a student. I knew I'm not gonna be there. Yeah. When I was in China, I thought, okay, this is great experience, but I was like, okay, maybe next year I go. Maybe next year I go. The work was keeping me, but I knew I wanna go. As soon as I came to Penang, I said, okay, that's the place. You know, that's the place I supposed to be. Until now, I have this feeling, you know, so it was never, until now, it was never a moment, say, okay, when I'm gonna go, or what I'm gonna do next. No, never. It was just, okay, so I'm home, right? So of course, every year we go, like we go home, like we go to your home country house, you know, like you see your family. But I always say, okay, I'm coming back to Penang, I'm coming back home. So that's the always feeling that, you know, and since I'm here, things started to grow more and more, you know, like you meet different people, everybody knows everybody in Penang, you know, like it's such a nice community it's such a balanced community of people, so, and then you meet here, this person, and then it's happened to be, oh, you have such a close friends, you know, you know, it's always happened in Penang. And I think with all of this traveling that I went, that's the place when I feel the most balanced, the most happy, the most satisfied. So it's not only about the work, it's about the lifestyle, it's about raising the child, right? It's about the safety, it's about what you do, how you do, about the people around you, it's just everything. Like, I feel very happy. So, and then, you know, when you feel satisfied, when you feel happy, then you could create more and more and more out of this. Don't you feel the same? You feel the same, right? In Penang, that's.
So to end this off, there's a question I ask every single guest. If you had a time machine and you could go back in any time and relive that moment, where would you go?
Okay, you see, like for me, even there are some difficult moments in my life, I believe it's supposed to be. Right? So I'm happy for this, I'm appreciative for this moment because it teaches me a lesson. So if I never have a difficulties in my life, I believe I would not be what I am at the moment, because all this teaching me how to be a strong person, how to appreciate what I have now. So how to deal with the students, how to be a good mother, how to be a good person, how to be a good wife, how to be a good human being. So all these difficulties in previous, all these difficult decisions, what I made me, I am who I am now. Yeah, and the time machine, I really, if I see every stages of my life, I'm happy everywhere.
Yeah.
There is no moment that I say, oh, it shouldn't be like this. No, even like the most disappointing moment, it made me to make a good decision again, you know?
Right.
So it teaches me something else. So there is no bad moment. You know, I don't look at this as I have no bad moments. Like even the people what I've met sometimes disappoint or something, they're supposed to be in my life to teach me a lesson. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then now what I see here, it's a summary of what I had in the previous life. Nah? So and then I can teach my students. Yeah, that I give my experience to share what I have. Yeah. So.
Wow, that's really
Yeah,
inspiring.
it is because, like, for example, okay, what I teach, it's not only about the steps.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I teach the girls about how to carry yourself, how to be a human, how to be a good person, how to be a disciplined person. Because you cannot be a successful person if you have no discipline.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you cannot discipline yourself, if you cannot commit yourself for something what you do, if you cannot love what you do, you can't be successful. So it's everything together. Yeah. So and when they come to me, it's a package of everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you go for competition, you need to practice hard. There is a certain amount of things what you need to do in order to succeed. Yeah. Not only about steps, not only about the movements. It's a part of it, but it's a big package for everyone what they need to do. Yeah.
Yeah. And one last question.
Yeah.
They say that art is less about what you put in and more about what you get out of it.
Yeah.
That being said, what does dance mean to you?
To me, okay. So for me, all right, there are two things. So I'm really happy. What makes me happy? Yeah. So to see to see the difference in my students. For example, they come to me 0.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the process of teaching them and getting different stages, it's very difficult because everyone has different personality, different speed of learning and many other things. So, and when I see, okay, so person coming to me is a 0, and when I see the result or when I see the success, for me this is the biggest pleasure when I see what it was and what it's become.
Yeah, the progress.
No matter the progress, when I see it, it was all of everything what you do for them, you know? When I see the result, when I see them, even, okay, no matter what place they get, but when I see how different they are and what they can do, I say, oh my God, it's my production.
Yeah.
I did it, you know, wow, this person came to me with a fit in,
Yeah.
you know, and when I see the person growing as a beautiful person, you know, they look beautiful, they look elegant. So there are many things what dance can change as a person, no matter is a boy or girl. But when I see the difference, how they came and what they become, it made me so happy.
Yeah.
Okay, this is number one. For me, teaching is a different thing. Okay, so because this is responsibility, this is energy. Yeah, it drains you, right? So, but then you get this reward. But when I dance myself, you know, I can be like a child. For me, it's something when even I go to salsa party or the dancing party or something like this, my soul is enjoying it, right? So then I express myself, I dance, even when I perform, you know? So it's totally different being me as a teacher and being me as a dancer. Yes, so being me as a dancer is a different personality.
Wow.
And sometimes, you know, like people who know me for years as a teacher, and then sometimes the parents look at me and say, Alla, this is the first time we see you really dancing. I said, of course, because, you know, when I really dance, I put high heels, I put beautiful dress, it's different personality coming out, you know. Teacher is a certain category, it's a certain standard, certain things. So, and many people know me as a dancing teacher. Some people know me only as a dancer, you know. So, and some people know as a both, you know. So, and it's a totally different personality. So for me, being a dancer, me as a dancer is a different, is a enjoyment, is a commitment, is a like a soul, right? Soul dancing, yeah. Being teacher is a different, yeah. So it's a two different things.
And that was my conversation with Miss Alla Mansour. Her students have competed nationally and internationally and have won many accolades. Her story was truly inspiring, and I'm grateful to get the opportunity to talk to her.